Alright, what's up YouTube fam? Good news, I found my tripod, so we're back in business. This styrofoam brick wall. But it's not your typical styrofoam brick wall. I decided to do a different method. I've never seen anyone else do it. I've thought about doing it for a while, and I finally decided I was going to jump in and do it. Instead of carving the individual brick pattern, like across and then up, with the alternating line, which for me was always a pain and always took a long time, and sometimes I would mess up on the lines. I decided I wanted to try something different, and I wanted to come up with a way that could also help me turn corners without having the the 1-inch thickness from the styrofoam and having to match that. So what I did, first what I did was I tried to do this. I was gonna carve my lines and then notch out the bricks, but it's not very clean. It's kind of a pain, and this is very thick. This is an inch thick, which means that you'll run into all kinds of problems when you want to interlock, and it's just gonna be a pain because you have to notch the next piece. So what I did was I took some of this that I already made, and then I sliced them just horizontally all the way down. And I was like, all right, well, let's be weird. And then I started to make individual blocks for whatever purpose, and then I decided too much trouble, and then you glue each individual block. That's chump work. We're not doing that. So then what I said was, well, let's just go with what you initially wanted to do. And what I did was, drum roll, dig around till I find my ruler. Pause. All right, what I did was I measured it out. Let's go with here. Pen. I know I've got a pen. My kingdom for a pen. So of course, if you mark it out where you want to put your lines, whatever, right? I would do there to there. Have my marks. Since these are already here, I'm just gonna use these now. I don't have to mark it out with a pen because they're already marked, but if they weren't, that's what I would do. 3 things you will need, of course: ruler, pen, knife, and then some form of glue. I like hot glue, but we'll get to that later. Here. This is an inch thick foam, so firm pressure on the ruler, boom, right? But let's go further. Let's go down. Let's just work down my line. One there. Here's another inch. Here's another inch. Inch. That's a ½ inch. We'll leave that as it is. Inch. You're a mean one, Mr. Inch. All right, and I'm not even gonna bother marking these out. I'm just gonna slide my knife. Now this is very sharp retractable blade, and it's good because cutting this thick foam, I can get it as long as I want and then put the extra pressure up there. But we're not gonna do all that. I'm just gonna set it deep enough to get in there. All right. Because I'm gonna need these. These are what I'm gonna use to set my pattern. Now you see I've already got my lines that would be the horizontal lines going across the side. So now I'm going to make my vertical lines. Now initially this will take a little bit of time. This is a little bit more time consuming. But it's totally worth it. The finished product came out great. I was very, very happy with it. And I'm able to do this in real time for you. Actually, let's just show you. With this, as long as you keep your ruler straight and you go through a few times, you can score these, and you can get, for the most part, pretty clean. Normally, your lines are cleaner, but for a cleaner line, you'd want to have something like this. You'd like to put something under there. And I'm using that piece. Let's use this piece. Yeah, for a cleaner line, just steady strokes, relatively clean, relatively flat. Can you see that? Yeah. So the sharp knife makes a difference. I think $3. You get this and a smaller one. All right. So safety first. Retract my blade. Your pen, it's really used right here. Because you could have scored these with a knife. You didn't really need the pen. What you do with the pen, you pull your pen out, and then you take your pen and you drag it down a line you made. And what you've done right there is you just made your brick indent. So now it's curved in a little bit, and you've added depth to your brick. Because you have that razor thin line, now it's definitely thicker. And you've put a curve on the end of the block. You know, and you just do that up and down, up and down, up and down, like that. And I do that here. I'm gonna lose this end. I'm just gonna take it off now because it's not gonna serve any purpose. All right. Alright, so I've done that all the way for my verticals, but I also want to do this for my horizontals. I want to be careful though. You know what? I didn't slice these. Now that I'm looking at it, these aren't even sliced. These I must have scored with the pen. So, real quick, go across, make my, it would have been better to do these probably first, but whatever. So nice, slow cuts. Keep my blade steady as possible. Yeah, it looks like I must have done these with the pen or something. Didn't initially score them like I thought. So these lines have no depth. And I'm getting, it's fighting me. Take it nice and slow. Yeah, because of the vertical bumps when you're dragging it across, it's definitely giving me guff. I want to hear that from you, Mr. Styrofoam. Alright, so again, nice and slow. And this is just the initial cut to guide my pen. And you see all this. You can get creative with that. If I wanted to, I could just make this a crumbling line going across, a bullet hole, just anything to the brickwork. Cool. Now I'm gonna run my pen. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna go slowly because I don't want to aggravate this any more than it already is. And this is only the second time I'm ever doing it. You see that? Actually disappeared pretty nice. Actually looks like the brick's a little old and crumbly, so I like it. This is much easier for me and quicker than carving out individual lines every couple inches. That's pain. Now this is an inch by an inch and a half, so this is for like 1/6 scale. I plan on doing this with this piece here. This is a 14-inch piece because I'm going to put it, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to add this to the top of this because this is going to be wide enough to fit into a diorama. Actually, not that piece. It's way too big. I'm going to put it on here. Alright, and I'm just going to double the height of it and make it like a full run wall and probably build back up on this side. Build back up over here and bring it up to a certain height. I may even work on turning the corner. Alright, so now that I've done that, we're going to line this back up. That's pretty much it, what you saw. Like, you score your initial lines and then you roll your pen through, and what that'll do is that gives you those lines for the brickwork to identify the individual bricks. And I can get in there real smooth. get a nice score. And another one. And another one. One more. Coolio. See if I can do all these real quick. It's easier if you can put something underneath there, because once you start to push on the blade, you are going to give yourself resistance, which is going to make it a little bit harder. So with nothing, you know, pushing back up, you'll get better results. So maybe getting a fewer strikes of the blade. Now, these may not come out like perfect square, but I don't need perfect squares. I don't want perfect squares. They're bricks. Nothing is perfect. Except my wife, if you ask her, she'll tell you. I'm far from perfect, but this was my good idea for the week. I get about one good idea a week, one great idea a month. I typically try to save them for work, but beggars can't be choosers. Alright. And guys, hang with me, alright? Bear with me. I'm going to do 3, and I'll just show you the magic. Alright, so we got 3. Alright? Boom, 3. And we'll do this because you've already got a line on you. Boom. Bricks. Done. Simple. Super simple. Look at that. Nice clean brickwork, right? You can see it's identifiable. You can see from the way the light casts a shadow that there's depth. The whole 9. And that took me not that long at all. Now, my ruler, this is a 14-inch ruler, which is great because this is what a DTOF is, so that's going to be my max. I like it because it's plastic. I can run the blade down, and I don't have to worry about the blade sinking into it like it was wood, but that's good. My next thing is going to be doing this. I'm going to actually measure out. This ruler's pretty nifty. Let's measure out a 1/2 inch. Estimate a 1/2 right there. This is the next thing I wanted to try, and we're gonna go for the full inch. Alright. I can go a little deeper, because that's cool. Give me a cleaner cut. So alright, now you see this part here, so you gotta be careful not to break that brick off. But you guys can, see, there he goes. He wants to come off. Roll this bad boy. You already know where we're going with that. Boom. All right, obviously this is a little bit thinner, but if they were the same width, there we go. There you see. That would, there. I'd have my corner, and then I would just plop you right on top of there. And as far as any movement or gappage, when I glue it, I can set it where I want. All right. And then you just make sure that whatever edge you use on the other side is clean. So I would give you the slice. You know, maybe sand you down. I don't know what they do with bricks. Yeah, this one's actually pretty good. And I could do that there. You know, but then of course you have to give this the same treatment. And this is me figuring all this out. I've never done this before. This was my first attempt here, and that came out good. This is just me trying to look into. And I mean, honestly, I don't even need to do this because what I did is I cut a bunch of individual bricks already. I wonder where I put those. Give me a second. There they are. Now that I'm thinking about it, these are much cleaner. So if you're gluing your wall anyway, I could just use this guy here. Yeah, if you want to just take one of these and slice it, and then slice it in half. That could be your individual brick. And no, you wouldn't go there. You would go here. My overlapping piece, right? Wait for it. Wait for it. Find another one. Yeah. There we go. There. The monster's complete. So if you run it like this, even if you were doing this in the 1/12 scale, I guess that's the secret right there. Individual bricks, actual cornerstones. If you just take your pattern and you cut out an individual brick, you can lay them as you go, and you can go up just like that. And you can do your corner. And then, you know, it would build up like this, and you'd have your wall. Or like that. But that's actually a really good idea. Glad I thought of it. But that's it. So not only is that how you can easily cut styrofoam, and then once you have a bunch of these, you can just boom, stack this up real quick, and glue them. And then again, if you want, you don't. Now that I realize this, I don't actually have to glue the cornerstones. You can take them out, and you can have your pieces, and they'll be separate, and then you can still put them together. And if you want, once you do your pre-build, what I would do is I would mark them. I would make this my number one piece. Like if I built it and I knew how they fit perfectly, I would go 1, 2, or I would glue the cornerstones. That'd probably be a better idea. Put this stone down, glue this to this piece, glue this piece to this piece, and then once I had my cornerstone where I wanted it, I would put a dab of glue there and just stick this to this using hot glue. And then my next brick, I would put in and I would glue these together. And if you want to be like super picky, maybe take a pin or something, and you could stick a pin through, you know, because pins will sink in easily, or, you know, and they won't come out. Maybe even a thin nail. Yeah, if you get like a trim nail, you could sink a trim nail in there, and that would hold it together. And then you could build on it further. And then maybe every other one you sink a trim nail into. But you go like this. And then when you're done, you've built yourself a corner that looks seamless. And that's how you get seamless corners. All right. And again, like I said, this is much quicker than individually carving. And it gives you all kinds of options. Because like once the bricks are on there, I can carve a little bit out of that brick and break it off. It kind of made it nice and easy to get that crumbling effect. But this wall's kind of on the thicker side. If I wanted to, I could have carved out both sides and done whatever with it, which is what I might be doing from now on. I might be carving out this side and then measuring this side and drawing my lines horizontally, and then just slicing both. The only problem is if your slice goes through crooked, you can mess it up. So maybe once I have it glued together, I could run my pen like that, you know, once they're there. But I can put my horizontal lines in beforehand. Like I'll turn it around, do my horizontal lines for this backside, but then slice these. And when you slice one side, it'll automatically put slices in the other side, but you'll have horizontal lines, and your horizontal lines back here will match the ones up here, so long as you do them properly, like measuring a half there and start a half here and whatever. But that's a good idea. So I'm going to work on this, but this is my intro video. And then I'm going to experiment with this more and keep posting videos. So stay posted. I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I'll come back with a finished product. I'm going to try and build a diorama. I wanted to set it up for the Punisher there, but I might do this and I might put a corner in it. Or you'll probably just do another one and put a corner bend in it, just to experiment with it more and see how that goes. So when I do that, I'll post a quick video as an update video, let you see how it goes. I have trim nails, so I'll experiment with locking these like I said. So you would be able to collapse your diorama, you know, not just have it up and be stuck up. You would be able to have these pieces, put them together like that, and just slide your cornerstone in there. Real easy. Maybe even doing these in like 2 or 3, maybe 4 sections and sliding them in piece by piece. All right, so thanks. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment if you have any questions, and like I said, stay posted because relatively soon I'm going to do an update to this and let you know how it goes. Later.